And the head of the Dutch counter-terrorism agency has said there is not just this one location that we are talking about where the tram is. He says there are several locations in Utrecht. So there has been a shooting at several locations, not just this one. That is the latest from the head of the Dutch counter-terrorism agency. So let me remind you of what we know, that one person has been killed and a number have been injured at one location, a tram in a square in the middle of Utrecht. I'm not sure we can listen in, actually. That was the press conference, but it was in Dutch. We can go now to Gavin Lee, who is in Brussels. Gavin, not sure if you're hearing any kind of translation from that press conference, but were there any other lines that came out? The one I have here is that there was a shooting at several locations. We're not just talking about this central square now in Utrecht.
Yeah, this is Pieter-Jaap Aalbersberg. He's the National Coordinator for Security and Counter-Terrorism. He's speaking as we are now. You're right, he said there are a number of reports of different locations where this attack happened, including the 24th of Oktoberplein, one of the main squares in Utrecht. One person we're hearing has been killed, a number of people injured. There is also, amongst these locations, there's a raid taking place that we've just heard from Pieter-Jaap, from the security coordinator, 2 blocks away from the centre of Utrecht, very close to where the attack happened. Anti-terrorist officers carrying out the raid on that address. The search going on, though, for this one suspect, at least, we're told is involved. We're still waiting for more details of the motives and who is behind this. He's also said that the level of security alert in the Netherlands, particularly around the province of Utrecht, specifically for that province, has been risen to the highest level, level 5, which they see as critical, that there could be the possibility of an imminent attack. So this is a deep worry now for the Netherlands. Just to recap, this incident happened at 10:45 this morning, 9:45 GMT. One of the locations that we know of happened at a tram stop in one of the central squares. Number of eyewitnesses, some have been on BBC World this morning, saying that they heard the gunfire, a number of people shot, and this is a region about 35 miles south of Amsterdam. So the security alert in place now. Schools in the area have been closed as well. Deep concern from the authorities. We also expect to hear sometime this morning from the Prime Minister Mark Rutte, who at the moment is in a crisis meeting. Let me bring you up to date with a couple more lines just as the security coordinator is finishing. He's also Pieter-Jaap Aalbersberg, who said he's not ruling out terrorism. They haven't confirmed it, but they say it is all the characteristics that there has been a terrorist attack, and they right now cannot exclude more, given what we've just said, Lucy, the events and the fact that they haven't apprehended the gunman or gunmen.
And Gavin, that threat level going up, you mentioned schools being told to shut their doors. Are we also going to see increased security at airports, other infrastructure points, possibly public transport as well? What does that mean?
Yeah, any big major incident considered or suspected to be a terrorist incident, there will be a huge coordination across the country. Interpol will be involved as well. One of the first steps of a government is to contact Europol, so that the European agencies, given that there are suspects still to be missing. If you look back at the big terrorist incidents in Brussels, Berlin, Barcelona, Paris, Nice, Manchester, London, there was a big European coming together of security services. That is absolutely critical in the first minutes and hours in trying to catch a suspect. And we've seen before, how there have been problems with the more time that has gone on for other governments in the past, particularly thinking of the Paris attacks and the suspect in that case, one of the key suspects turning up 7 months later in Brussels. Those first hours are absolutely key.
Gavin, it is our understanding though at the moment, because of course we've had conflicting reports, that we are talking about just one gunman but now several different locations?
Yes, I mean, the extrapolation from that suggests that there are more gunmen involved if we're talking about several locations. But as I say, we've just had a very short few-minute press conference from the head of National Security and Counter-Terrorism, and no confirmation of how many suspects there are. One incident ongoing, as I say. This is Truman Lawn. This is 2 blocks away. We're told at the moment there are anti-terror agents that are standing with their weapons drawn at this house. There are also agents on the roof. We believe a raid is starting there. And this is an area, clearly, there are several locations. You go back to a terrorist attack that happened in Strasbourg just a few months ago. This was one attacker moving in several locations very quickly. And I think the main thing as well, given the information that's coming through quite quickly, there's an awful lot of suggestions, reports, speculation that's going on social media and Twitter. The Utrecht police keen to say that please do not share anything that hasn't come from official sources. And you and I have seen this before, Lucy, haven't we, with other incidents that we've both reported and covered. They are very keen, the authorities now, to try to work out exactly what's happened and with the information that they've got.
We have indeed, Gavin. Good to have you with us. Thanks so much for that. We're going to